and for some it's in the middle, depending on what car you have. This is a 3G Plus unit, which we're gonna open so we can see what's going on inside and give you guys an inside look. These units were all made by Harman, yeah, sorry, Harman and Kardon. They were reliable units in general. They didn't give that many problems. Like, I'm running these groups for now 3 years, 4 years, and not many people come and say my MMI is busted, burned. Some people had issues with their hard drives, and that's easy to fix, kinda. You can just get another drive and copy paste the old one if it's still working. Otherwise, there were forums with the images of the hard drive because it has specific partitions and specific sizes. You can also upgrade the hard drive. Some people try to put SSD on them, but you're not gonna gain that much because the hard disk is not the limiting factor in performance of these units. But most people usually are having trouble updating the maps and the software, so we're gonna talk about that. It's very easy. You have to have some knowledge of IT stuff, but you can update the unit quite easily. Well, I guess we can start to get to know the unit, and let's get this over with. I have a unit here to open. I will try to give you a good view. I have already removed the screws on it because it has like quite of them. They thought let's put as many screws as we can. I have to warn you, I only opened this once or twice, so bear with me if it's gonna be a disaster or not. Let me turn on some lights in here because I want you guys to have a good view in general. Sorry for the brightness. Is everybody still on board? I don't see the chat rolling and having comments. No one even commented my new shirt that I got for this. It even says S8 in the back. But sure, be like that. So I'm gonna try to get the camera down. Are you guys, how is it? Does it, let me try to get you, let's flip this screen and flip it once more for you guys. Nope, not good. Let's stick with that. So this is the unit. I have already removed the screws. It has screws all over, as you can see. They're quite some because they designed those. The 3G unit was designed around 2006 and 7, so it's quite old hardware. And yeah, Audi decided they can build this until 2019 and sell it to people with premium cars. So after you remove the screws, you can take the top off, which is just a gap, and you're gonna be inside the unit. The reason that you wanna gain access to the unit usually is because either the CD drive, which is this thing on top, I'm gonna remove it for you guys. There you go. Usually the CD drive gets busted, it doesn't work, or if you have kids, they just throw CDs in or something in, and then your CD drive is busted, so you have to replace it. In general, it's not a hard thing to do. It's pretty, like, when you get it out, you can see it. You can unplug the tape on it, and that's a typical CD drive. I can tell you that is, does it say branding? I think it's a Toshiba. Yep, it has a Toshiba ECU on it. So Usually if that gets busted, and if you go to the Audi, they will quote you to get a whole unit. They will never sell you the drive by itself. These drives were are CD drives, first of all. As DVD drives, sorry. They can do DVD as well. I have never used it. I've never put a DVD in my car so far. So after you remove the drive, right below is the hard disk, which is a Toshiba. These discs were not even 5,200 RPMs, they were lower. They were about 4,200 RPMs. So they are one of the reasons that the unit is slow, but that's not the only problem with it. On this side you will see the modem unit. That's the infamous 3G modem, which I have to take out. It has a screw up here that I have to remove. Let's get our tools. All of these screws came from this unit today. They really overdid it with screws, to be honest. But let's see, let's open it up and see what's going on. So it has one of those back here, which I didn't see because I didn't want to delay you guys with this. Come on. Nope. Jesus, it's being stubborn to me. Or am I just using the wrong tool? No, it's a really bad screw, apparently. Let's get something more sophisticated in there. There we go. Fail. In the back is all the plugs of the unit. So we have the this is the 3G antenna. That's where the 3G antenna plugs. This is the screen, and these are the one is a TV tuner and the other one is the aero plugs for the FM. And then here is the multi-plug that hooks, that is the amplifier and power, 12 volt, ground, everything. And here is the optical for the gateway. So the modem should be, there we go. So that's the modem that gives the SIM card in front. The SIM card goes in front. So this is a 3G modem. It's not 5G. It's not gonna give you COVID or anything else. It's 3G. So you're still safe in your cars in case someone is riding that train. So you're safe to hold this. And the problem with that unit is that Audi never upgraded it to a 4G. They provided around 2015 modems that were 3.7G. That's how it's called. They were a bit faster, but they were still slow for today's standards. So the uses of the modem is for the unit to have internet for the Audi Connect and the Audi Google Maps overlay. And also it has a Wi-Fi on it that would create a hotspot for you guys to share internet with whoever is driving with. It's okay, it works. I have a Chromecast in my car that gets internet from this modem, and it takes a while to start streaming at YouTube, but once it does, it just goes. So that's the modem. Down here we have the hard disk, which quite frankly I don't really remember how I took it off the last time. It had a thing. But is there a reason to go deeper? Not really. I can show you that. Here is the fan that is just ventilating the unit. These units run very warm in general. Like if you touch it while it operates, they're quite warm, but this is their normal operation. The discs were designed for automotive usage. That's how they're called. They're just simple HDDs, but when they tried to put SSDs on them, the SSD was getting warm. and plus the unit didn't know how to use SSD with the trim. So SSDs work differently than hard disks. It's not the same thing. So what they did is they removed the Toshibas and they put SSDs with an ID. This is an IDE plug, and most SSDs don't have those. They are SATA plugs. So people would just like take an IDE to a SATA and then an SSD, but there are multiple posts about it that people had issues with it. It didn't gain that much on speed. Maybe on copying it would gain some, but the main issue here is the motherboard itself. It's not quite fast. So, and Audi never updated it for us. So we were stuck with a unit that was designed in 2007, and that's all the problems. That's where it comes from. The software runs on Linux. Get you up. There we go. The software was a Linux distribution, and yeah. Anyone has any questions? Want to say something from this, or should we move on? Please write on the chat. I'm gonna close it later. There we go. Let's get the tools back and someone is asking if there is a 4G. No, there is not a 4G option. Audi never provided a 4G option for this kind of MMI units. On facelift RS6, they came up with a unit called MIB, which is let's tune down the lights a bit. There we go. They came up with a unit that's called MIB. There is MIB1 and MIB2. Practically after 2015, cars would have, all Audi models would have that except the A8. And what they practically did is they redesigned the whole thing, and people that had MMI could not retrofit an MIB because it would use a different protocol. Therefore, you cannot retrofit an MIB unit to a car that has MMI. They were also different in shape. I don't have an MIB unit here to show you, but they were different. So you could retrofit from so in the first A8s there were the MMI 2G version, and that had a low resolution screen. It was about 480p, I think. And people would then the 3G came on the Audi A8 around 2008 September or August. So models of the A8 that are after 2008, they had the MMI 3G. The 3G was an in-between version between the 2G and the 3G Plus, because in 2010 3G Plus came. You could retrofit a 3G Plus unit to a 3G car and lose some of the functionalities, but that was possible without doing too many changes. And on 2G Audis, you would have to replace the whole console because they use different protocol for the keys and different screen. So that was the deal back then. Nowadays, you don't retrofit those units. And this is from my old Audi S8. It had a 3G, and I retrofitted this 3G Plus. I was happy with it. The screen wouldn't work, and I remember the air suspension would not change height anymore, but it was okay, I guess. I think the 2G did not have an SD card reader, for the person who's asking. I'm not really familiar with the 2G because I didn't really use one. I only had 3G and 3G Plus. Now, let's talk about software updates on these units, which is something that many people ask, and I am also noticing that there are people that are posting in our groups and asking money from the other members in order to provide them with the update files, and saying that it's original files or genuine files and stuff like that. So to make everything clear, the firmware and the maps are always original. There is no one else that makes non-original Audi software or maps for these units. They were all original, therefore that's how they're trying to trick you. The deal is when you're trying to activate the maps. That's where they use an activator to activate the maps, and you can get all that free on forums, but I still see people asking money for it and taking advantage that you guys don't know that they're using an activator in order to sell you maps and make profit over that you're not knowledgeable about this. So I want to make this clear that all software, firmware, and maps are always original. The activator is what changes everything. So to update those units, you'd get those cards. There are 3 of them. Well, 2 of them. So we have an SD cards that usually they would look like this. They would have, I would say, Europa or USA and whatever else, and they would have the maps inside of depending what year. The maps are updating every once in a year, I think, if I recall. So this is like an SD card, typical. I will not say if you should go to Audi or not to update your maps and your firmware. Depending on which country you are, they're asking different amounts of money. In my opinion, the Audi should provide its users free updates for the firmware and not charge for it. But that's a story I'm not gonna dive into. But I'm gonna show you how you can update it using just the form files, because it's very easy. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine, but at least don't pay people that sell you 20 or 30 bucks to give you updated maps. This is just like taking advantage of you, and that's why we remove these posts. And if you see them, please report them so the admins take them down. You can get all these files for free with no problem or anything. Let me show you if I can get the instructions on. And the reason I'm gonna show you instructions is to see how simple it is to update those units. They're very detailed on how to update those. So let's get this on screen. Let's change that. Yep, properties. There we go. Can everybody see the PDF? Let's see. Everybody can see the PDF. Everybody's getting it. Awesome. So these are instructions that I found on the internet just by Googling. This is not like something crazy. This is just Googling and looking for it. So these were written in 2017, but it doesn't matter because it's the same thing how to update them no matter what. So I'm gonna scroll down. You need a battery charger. You do not leave your engine running. This is a mistake. But you do need a battery charger for sure, because it's gonna take about 2 to 3 hours. So it's a bit too much for your battery to handle, because the MMI system takes quite some power, because it's not only MMI that works, as your amplifiers, your TV tuner, everything is working. So definitely a battery charger. It doesn't have to be an expensive battery charger. Mine was like $30. I don't know if I have it here. No, it's in the car. It doesn't have to be something expensive, just a battery charger, connect it. When you connect a battery charger, never put the minus on the battery. Right next to the battery there is a pole that grounds on the vehicle. Don't put the minus on the battery, and the plus is always on the battery, the minus never. What do you need? Firmware files, obviously, and you need the map files and the activation script. So here it has pictures of the system that you might have. So there is the basic, which is the 2G, and then there was the 3G, which is the high, and 3G plus or 3GP, whatever is this one. What it changes to those units is their firmware. That's why you see different names in the beginning. It says BNAV, HNAV, or HN plus RNAV. So that's how you can tell what you have. As you can see, it says what you have to do very detailed. There is nothing in luck, and there's nothing else. So this gives you the keys that you might need to press during updating your units. So what you do is you take one of these SD cards and you download the software, and then you just put it on the cards. You have to format it in FAT32. I guess if you're getting your hands busy with this procedure, you already know how to do that. So yeah. So it tells you what to do, and it tells you very detailed. So insert the firmware in slot 1 and then go update, and this is for the 2G actually. So I'm gonna skip this and go, this is a 3G, there we are. Let me see. So yeah, he puts it in and he selects where he put the firmware, and you press SD1 and then it starts reading it, and it tells you inserted this kind of firmware. Yes, okay, I did. So you go in and it says that it asks you what units you need to update. So it's gonna list all the devices of your car that will need to be updated, and some might have updates, some not. That's why it says N here, which means no, but in general it's gonna tell you which units are gonna be updated, and you can proceed. So after this, it's gonna start the process, and the process is gonna take some time. The firmware should take like about 30 minutes usually, and the maps about 2 to 3 hours. They're quite big files. So as you can see, it tells you like what you need to do and how to update your firmware. After you're done with your firmware, the unit is gonna start normally. So the firmware has nothing to do with the map. The firmware, oops, that went down. The firmware has nothing to do with the map. The firmware, you might have installed a new firmware and have a very old map, and it will still work. The other way around does not work. It will not work if you put a new map on an old firmware. So after you're done with the firmware, which is pretty straightforward position, and it's very difficult in general to mess it up, we have to proceed to the map. So you do need to have the green menu activated, and you can activate the green menu or else developers menu either by a script that you put in an SD card and you put it in and it reads and it unlocks the developer screen, which is the green screen, or you can do it with an OBD11 or VCDS and go to the coding and enable it, but you will need the green menu. So before you start the map update, you're gonna need to delete the old database. And it's saying right here that removing the old map is optional, however it's highly recommendable. So you need to go to nav, database, update, and delete database. So when you click that, it's gonna show a screen like this, exactly. And it's gonna remove the old maps so you can install the new ones on an empty space and not read and write them. So not only you delete the database, you also delete the partition. See, delete HDD partition because the new maps, there might be bigger or smaller, so you do need to change the partition of the drive. But for someone who doesn't want to get technical, you just do what this manual says and you'll be fine. So it's gonna do all that. So now on the files you download, if you use a 32 gigabyte slot, it might not fit the whole files for the 3G and 3G Plus. So if you have a 3G Plus unit, you can just remove the 3G data because it's not gonna use it. So it tells you here, if you're updating 3G Basic or High, you can remove these files, these folders. And by doing that, you minimize the size to less than 32 gigabytes so they can fit in your SD card. It also says that you must be on FAT32 format, which you should be already since you updated the firmware. And it tells you that when you copy everything on your card, it should look like this on your SD card. So you pretty much cannot go wrong with it. It's very detailed, very detailed. And then from engineering menu, the shortcuts are here. Yep, it shows the shortcuts. You select again that my file is on SD1, and then it's gonna say, hey, I found that you put maps on the SD card. And for this you just select standard, and then it's gonna start updating, and it's gonna take about 3 hours, depending. It's about that, 2 hours, 3 hours. Yep, exactly. When it opens, it's gonna tell you what it updated, and you're gonna see OK. And no, you don't want to see documentation, so you cancel that. So you're done. Right now, your unit is having new firmware and new maps. So normally, Audi would activate the maps using an online method, and they would just go to your unit and put the code, and the map would be activated. The other way to do it is by a script called an activator, and there's 2 or 3 of them out there. They all do the same thing pretty much, as far as I'm concerned. So what you do is you put the activator on a card and you just flash it, just like you flashed the maps and the firmware. Same procedure, and it's gonna do its thing. This is gonna take less than a minute. This is very fast. It only goes and changes some settings for your map to activate. Keep in mind that before you do the activator, after you update the firmware and the map, you need to let the unit to boot up completely and press all the buttons, so car, menu, navigation, like make sure like every menu has loaded everything before you activate it. So this is important. And then here they're using the Keldos activator, which is one of the activators. There's 2 or 3. And it tells you that preparing the files, so you put these files into your SD card, and there it says make sure your MMI is fully booted by pressing everything. The MMI does not take 10 minutes to boot up, but 5 minutes are okay. The moment you insert the card, you don't have to press anything because it has an auto run feature on the activator. So it's gonna go ahead and activate it and this is gonna take like 15-60 seconds, and then it's gonna tell you that it completely successful, and that's it. Enjoy your activated map. That's pretty much it. Oh, before we move on, there is a troubleshoot. So they already figured that maybe you'll do something wrong. So there is a troubleshoot as well. It tells you how to remove it if you want. I don't know why you would. Keep in mind that only when you change the firmware is when you need to reactivate the maps. If you update the maps only and not the firmware, you don't need to do the activator again. It keeps the activator from the old maps. So keep that in mind. Here it tells you, yes, I will share links and everything. Here it tells you how to do everything. Enable the green menu, VCDS and everything. It's very detailed, very detailed. Using a script. See? It also has the, yes, they are all easily found. Don't worry about it. I just Google it. The emergency update, in case you mess everything up, you can use that to unbrick the unit. So there is that option. It tells you how to do it. I don't think anyone will end up using the emergency update. I've never used it. I don't think you can do like... I don't think you can end up to emergency app of the MMI. This is like... And these are like other mods you can enable, disable. So now the software and everything is very easily found. I just Google it. You can do it yourself and Google around. You will find it, although the instructions, since I have them in front of me, came from instructions. These are the instructions. That's where it came from. You can download that, and I can show you where the maps were found. Let me change that. There we go. Fit to screen. There we go. So what I use is GPS Power because it's been around for ages as a forum. I'm a member of them for many years. These guys know what they're doing. So I used gpspower.net at Audi. So you come here, and what we're looking for is this one. See, it says free. Yes, of course it's free. And then the firmware, they have it on Mega.NZ. So here you can see how organized this is. So it has a firmware from MIBs, MIB 2, MMI 3G Basic High. What we need is 3G Plus usually, and then A8, A8. And the latest firmware is this one, the P1001. To be honest, I have not updated yet. I'm still on 942 because they don't really make a ton of changes, so I didn't update the firmware. But you can download the file 1001, and this is your firmware. It's on a RAR file. If you have the old 3G, you can go 3G high and get the 3G high stuff. So yeah, quite easy. And then the activator is here, Keldo or Vlasov. I think I used Keldo's activator. It doesn't matter, you can use either. And then there's a torrent link for the maps. They're quite big, there's about 20-30 gigabytes. And yeah, there's also, and yeah, This is the disk, the original one. I don't know if there's... Yep, there's a video how to do it. So all you need to do is Google around, and you can find everything without paying people to 20 or 30 bucks to get money from you, which I really hate. So that's about with the map updating. Get some water. I think everything is understood. I don't think it was that hard-ish. Of course, you're more than welcome to come on the groups and ask for our help. Me and the other admins would love to help everybody. This is what we do anyhow. I'm not a mechanic or anything, or I just like do that for many years now, and that's how the knowledge came. That's with the updates. Other common issues with those units, not really. We already talked about the common issues on those. We can discuss about the green menu. So the green menu is developer's menu, and you can mess with your units with that, so you need to be careful. VCDS or OBD11 can enable that for you, or a script like we saw. You do need that pretty much to do the map updates and everything. Other coding is the video in motion. So when you switch to the TV tuner, or if there is a DVD playing, or any video in general, the MMI was programmed after, I think, 5 or 10 kilometers per hour vehicle speed. It would close it and it would say you cannot watch video while the car is in motion. You can disable that. I don't recommend it for the front screen because it might get you distracted, so I don't recommend you doing that. But you can do that from VCDS as well. In general, all the VCDS codings, if you Google them, you can find a whole list of codings. More information. Let me find it. VCDS codings. Audi A8. So I just Googled, and the first post that came is the one you're looking for. Who knew, huh? That's what we actually do when you guys ask us stuff. We just Google around until we find it. So here you can see a list of codes that are relevant with the MMI. Some are not. So you can check that out. And furthermore, more information about the MMI and what does it support can be found here. Credits to all these people that did all this work on all forums and all that. Like, there's some guys really knowledgeable, and you can find great information just by looking at the forums. The second link that I sent you just now describes everything about the MMI. Everything you're looking for, it's there. About the cables you can use, about the formats that you can use, everything is there. So a bit of reading would not hurt, I guess. So that's about it on that front. The other thing you can do with MMI, that is also a thing, is that because the modem is very slow, as we said, it's a 3G modem, you can use your AMI port to put a modem. So what you do is you get an AMI port that ends to an Ethernet or a USB. Maybe it's a USB. Hold on. I think it's AMI to USB, and then USB to Ethernet, and then Ethernet to 3G, 4G modem. So you could get internet on your... Let me find it. I will find it, and There we go. I need to upload that for you guys somehow. Let me see if I can find a link for that. So what they did is they took... Yep, found it. Let me show you. There we go. So what they want to achieve is to give Ethernet to the MMI unit using a modern modem. So from AMI to USB, USB to Ethernet, and then Ethernet to a modem. That's what they do here. And the goal is that the new modems, the TP-Link that he uses here, has a 4G speed modem. So you can feed your MMI with 4G speed in order to have way faster Ethernet. You can do it. It's not difficult. Here you can see the parts. Yep, that's the build. Quite smart. You need to change some settings on your MMI. I don't think any of you is gonna do that, but I still thought to show you guys what you can do with it. Let me go back to that. There we go. Any questions so far? I think someone... hold on. Yes, we're gonna discuss the Android box. Don't worry. Anyone has any other questions so far? Please type on the chat so we can get some questions over with and move on to more fun stuff. And until you guys type, I can get things going here to show you. Let me check if anyone type. We're gonna start now. Don't worry about it. I just showed where you get the maps from. I'm gonna paste it here. Why the hell not? This is where you can get your maps for firmwares and everything. It's all there on gpspower.net, as I previously said. Moving on. Also, because of the lack of stuff that were missing from the MMI, the companies came and developed modules that you can plug on the MMI, not inside the box, outside. And that's how the Android box and Apple CarPlay came into the scene, and many Chinese companies started selling those. Also, another module is the FIS control, which I showed the other day on. I posted on Facebook with the gauges on the MMI. A really nice guy actually developed that. He's very helpful so far. I will show you what I mean. Let's start with the FIS control, which is easier to explain. FIS control is pretty much this. Let me give you... There we go. I'm gonna mute him. So what it does is you can put OBD gauges in your MMI. And it's quite responsive, as you can see. You don't hear the sound, but it is quite responsive. I have it myself in my car. I got it last week to test it out for you guys. And like, if you want an OEM solution that will not have gauges on your pillars and stuff, this is the best solution that I've seen. It's fully customizable and very easy to install. So I'm gonna... So yeah, here he just like shows it off. You can do whatever you want with the background. You can do whatever you want with the letters, these red lines, the gauges. You can design everything yourself. I can actually show you a bit of my design to just give you an idea how customizable this unit is. Let me run Photoshop for a bit. Let's go back to that. Also, if you want to more info, we are organizing a group buy for our groups. I will give you the link right now if you want to add your name and your Facebook. So here you can find all the information about FIS and the Android box, but I'm gonna walk you guys through it. As I can see, my Photoshop is up and running, so I can show you a bit of how FIS control can be customized. Let me get this on the screen. There we go. So this is what I was designing. So as you can see, I can design whatever I want on the background, and then I can just upload the device, and like I wrote here Ketse S8, MMI control. I put the S8. For somebody else it might be an A8 or whatever car you guys are using. Logos, Quattro, Dyno Spectrum, because that's the guys we tuned the car with. And for example, now I have a turbo boost here. If I wanted to have voltage, I would have to redesign the whole thing. So I would have to type the number, take these numbers out, and type them again. So if I wanted the voltage, for example, I would say that I need 10 volts, 11, 12, 13, 14. So I would have to redesign the whole goals myself. It needs a bit of work, but you can get used to it. It's quite fun, to be honest, because then you see it working and you feel like you've done something. So that's with the design part of FIS control. The installation is very easy. So what these modules do is they hijack your screen. So the installation is you need to take out the MMI, and instead of the screen being connected to the MMI directly, you unplug the screen from the MMI, you put it to the module, and then from the module you go back to the MMI. So when it receives a signal from your cruise talk, that's where the trigger button is, you press the cruise talk. What it does, it just cuts the overlay of the MMI and just transfers on your screen the FIS control MMI. This is the same for the Android box and all that. They all do the same thing. They just hijack your screen, and some they hijack your buttons as well, like the Android box. It hijacks your buttons so you can have control of what's going on the screen. But FIS control just works with the cruise talk. So you can go through the pages by pressing up and down on the cruise talk, and you can hide it by holding on the cancel for 2 seconds. It's quite an amazing device. You can customize it however you want. You can put whatever. I can show you actually how the file for this works. So let me change to Firefox again. Let me load my file. So this is a configuration file for FIS control, and what pretty much is, it's you just put whatever sensor of your car it's programmed to take. So if I want, let's say, some temperature, coolant temperature, for example, I can say that in gauge 1 I want coolant temperature instead of whatever else, and I had it, so here outside coolant, and it's on Celsius as well. So, and that's how it works. You just put whatever you want. It has like other pages as well, so you can like put, it goes through pages. So first page is always the gauges that we saw, and then the other pages are practically data like this. I think you showed it, that like this. It's in German, but you can see, like, you can change the order of that, put whatever you want. So this is the voltage, for example. This is the oil temperature. So he customized it by putting here whatever he wants. I can put whatever name, I can just type whatever I wanted to show. It's quite a neat solution, and The guy who developed it is really nice as well. We talked and everything. So no, you don't lose any functionality of the cruise control. Your cruise control still works. You just have to have in mind that when you play with the MMI control and have the cruise control on active, you might be changing the speed setting on it as well. So you have to be careful to play with it without the cruise control being active. But you don't lose anything on it. Everything works as it should. You just have this function as well. That's the best thing about it. There's two versions of this module. The one that I have is the simple older version that hijacks the screen and uses the cruise talk. The only installation that you need is just to take out the MMI and put the screen cables as I described earlier, and then there is a cable that goes to your OBD port and you just connect it and it works. It's nothing else. You don't have to take any power cables from anywhere else. You don't have to slice other cables in half. It's very easy to install. You can install it yourself. The only thing you might need is you might need a kit, a trim removal kit. I will give you a link to get an example of what I mean. I actually ordered one today because I didn't have one. So you would need preferably something like that, which is a kit. Let me show you on the screen. You would need a kit like this you need those two keys down here for sure to remove the unit. But it's also nice to have the trim removal tools so you don't scratch anything. They're very cheap. They were like 18 bucks, so that's nothing, and comes in a nice case. So you can just use that, and it's quite nice to have in the car. It's gonna be useful for sure. But if you don't feel comfortable by doing it, you can always go to a specialist to just install it. It will take less than an hour. For someone who knows how to take out an MMI unit, especially on the A8, I say that is a bit more difficult. It will take them tops 30 minutes. It's not a big thing, really. He doesn't even have to cut any wire or anything. He just like takes out the screen plug, puts a module, and then the screen plug to the module, and then the OBD port. And I don't have it here. I have it already installed in my car, so I cannot show it to you, but it's that simple. I cannot stress this enough. Any questions about the FIS control, MMI control, are welcome now. I already pasted what you guys, where you can sign up for the group sale. In general, the most units we're gonna get, the better prices are gonna hit. I bought the FIS myself, and I also bought the unit. We're gonna buy the Android Apple unit myself on full price to test it for you guys, because I don't wanna I'm not making any profit. I don't wanna like propose any products that I haven't tested myself for you, because if it's a bullshit product, you're gonna come back and say, why did you even recommend this? So I bought the FIS control. I tested it. I've shown you videos on Facebook with it on my car running. I'm not quite sure if I can. I guess I can show it to you here. Let me see if I can capture that for you guys. It doesn't let me, I think. No, it doesn't let me. Why doesn't it let me though? It should. Let me see if I can get this to work for you guys. Jesus. There we go. Jesus, I left that open. No one is saying shit. Good luck finding which Windows Media Player it is. Okay, apparently I cannot show you a video from here. Discard these changes. Maybe if I drop it here, would it work? Oh, there it is. Yeah. That's easy. Let's fit it. Oh, it played and left. Can I play again? Nope, it doesn't. Well, let me drop it again. There it is, working on my car. It was before I did the graphics, but you can see it like working. I don't see any questions about it, so let's move on, I guess. And let's move to the, how you call it? To the Android box slash Apple CarPlay. I don't know how it's called anymore. So we found this box from a member of ours that installed it and said good words. Before that started like 4 or 5 days ago. So it's a bit of a messy situation what happens to these modules for the Android CarPlay and the Android CarPlay. So they're all Chinese units, and that's fine. But let me find that. Yeah, that's fine because they don't have an issue with the copyright, so they can do whatever they want with it. So they just take the software from Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, they throw it in a generic box, like it's not a Raspberry, but it's something similar, and then they sell it to people. The unit I'm talking about is this one. The video still plays here. So we found out this unit. I have already ordered it myself to test it, so it's gonna be here Tuesday. As you can see, it comes with the cables and everything, and so we were talking with this company after this member bought this unit, and we were asking them how it works, what it is, and yeah, they were going back and forth. So what it is a unit that uses Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You can AirPlay to it and screen mirror as well. And it also has a USB port, which is this one. Yep, it's down here. And it also has an HDMI in. And I don't know about you, but I was more happy about the HDMI in rather than anything else, because it means you can plug whatever you want to it and it's gonna show it on the screen full resolution. Well, our resolution on the screens are 720p, but it's better than the TV tuner, because what we usually do is use a TV tuner with RCA plugs, and then from RCA to HDMI to put a Chromecast like I have on my car, and that would lower the quality of the sound and the image, because you were going from digital to analog and then back to digital, so you were losing a lot. So I'm very happy it has an HDMI in. That's what I was care about. So it has an install manual, user manual, it has everything, and here you can see it working. The member that it bought it, he posted videos on the groups and we've seen it working, but I'm waiting mine on Tuesday to just maybe make a video for you guys again, or we'll see what we're gonna do. I would like to have it here or have someone to show it, but I have never used Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I don't have any car that is compatible with. I guess you guys know it if you have used it before. I heard good words on the usability of it. So as you can see, it does the same thing. It steals the screen from the MMI and it projects its own interface. The difference is that this one also hijacks the signal from the buttons. So in order for it to know what buttons you're pressing on the console, how it connects is that in the back of the MMI there is this big plug So instead of that, it has its own thing. So normally you will take out the normal plug and you're gonna plug it on the harness of that unit that comes with. I will show it to you now. So this one. So this goes, instead of the car's original one going in, this is gonna go here, and then the cars is gonna go on the back of that, and then it's gonna all connect to the unit. So with that way they hijack the buttons and the screen as well, so you can navigate on the menu of the Android CarPlay. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward. I'm looking forward for it to come, actually, to test it out. We're trying to get a good price. So far we have 24, 25 people that are interested in. Like, it's a long list of, yes, I'm not gonna count now, but I think we can get a good price. And I would really like for us to get a good price, because I paid a full price for it. So it would be nice to get a good price for you guys. Now, you gotta see, if you Google around, that there are units that are way more expensive, and it's gonna, what? Sorry, but like, what? It doesn't work with the MMI 2G. Slowing down over time as most. Slowing down? No, it's not something that it can slow down, because the processing power is on your phone. The only thing that this does is just transmit, decode the data, which is okay, but most of the processing power is done on your phone. It's not a rear view mirror, no. Android update over time. You don't update this box. It's your phone that uses its own Android. This is not an Android, no, this is not an Android box. This is Android Auto, so it uses your phone, which already has Android Auto if you're on Android 6 and more. So your phone does everything. There is nothing on the unit that has to do with Android or iOS. It just has the software that Google created to be shown on your screen, to allow the phone to be used on your car. I guess I can find you a video to show you how Android Auto looks like. It has nothing to do with the unit itself. It's all done in your. There it is. There's someone who used it. So yeah, that's the thing, and it shows how he puts it in. Does he use it though? No, he doesn't. But yeah, you can see it's a bit different than ours because it has both, but here he hijacks the screen. It's a BMW, it's the same kind of deal. And then he tells you there's like some settings on the dip switch on top. This is all details. Yep. He connected the. Yep, here you see it working. But anyway, it hijacks the button. All of this is done to your phone, the processing. It has nothing to do with the rest. No, it's not a Chinese rear mirror or anything. It's Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. What else is there to say about this box? Nothing else. That's what it is, and I'm looking forward, as I said. I also have a rear seat entertainment, so they told me that you cannot get this. Well, they said we have never done a rear seat entertainment setup, so we don't know how if it works or not. And I said I'll try it, and if it works, maybe you'll send me a second unit for a low price. No, it's a thing of the past, asking for a code. I don't think you need to even disconnect the battery. I wouldn't disconnect the battery just to plug out the MMI. I plugged out the MMI even with the car running, and it's fine. I don't recommend doing it every day or do it with the car running, but just turning off the car and like with the accessories and everything off and plugging it out, it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a problem. Just it's a big thing, and you grab it. It has a clip and plugs out, so it's not a big deal to take it out even if the car has power. You can take it to a garage to do it. Same, it's not gonna take more than 30 minutes for someone who knows what it does to install it. And it's ready to go to solution. The only thing is that we're trying to debate the price. We want to get a low price. We want to get it like going. So far we have 20 plus members. We'll see. We want a bit more. The more we get, the less price we're gonna pay, which is our goal. So I was saying earlier about the unit, that you see many units of these on the market, and some are very expensive, some are not. So we were like, why is that? So we're trying to find out why. I'm trying to find the website at the same time to explain to you what happened. I cannot find it, but anyway, I read the post. So what happens is they use the same hardware for all these units. So apparently there's a Chinese company that makes those hardware, and then companies like whatever buy it and they put their kind of own software. The only thing that they change is a bit the graphics. And you might see this unit going from 800 euros, 600 euros, or 200 euros, and you're all paying for the same hardware and only a bit of changes on software. Funny thing is that you can cross flash firmware from an 800 euro unit to a 200 euro unit because the hardware is the same. So you can, I will find the post, I just don't want to search it now, that it has listed all the 3 major software companies, and it says you can take that software and flash it to your unit and be done with. So why pay 400 or 600 euros for the same hardware? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, it's the same as the RS nut box, which is the same, exactly. RS nut box is exactly the same. So the only thing that changes is like, I really want to find this now. It was Beamer post. I want to find to show you guys because it was like unbelievable that that's what it is. And of course I cannot find it now. Of course I'll find it. Anyway, my point is there is no need to pay a huge amount of money for the same thing, and as I said, all the processing is done on your phones. The only thing they did is they stole from Google and whatever else their software and they just plugged it in. And China is China. Very good at this. They reverse engineered the whole thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward for the group buy. I have posted the link. The original price of this unit is 240, 250. I'm trying to get it lower. I'm trying to get it under 200, to be honest, for all of you guys. So this is the original post. Oops. Come on. There we go. This is the original place that we found it. Oh, I cannot paste it. It's too big. The link is too big. I cannot paste it here. But it's on the. It's on the how do you call it? It's on the XLS with the members that wanna take part. So use that, and there is info about the FIS and the CarPlay. You can go click on it and go on the original website. we think we can get it under 200 for sure. Like, there are already 25 units. There's 25 people that want it. So, yeah, exactly, Parker. That's the thing, and it's gonna be no different, or it's gonna be minor software differences. I think the box is gonna be the same. But as I said, Tuesday probably I'm gonna have it in my hands. I'm gonna test it, and then we will decide if we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna like crash test it, troubleshoot it, try to break it, try to put it on the rear seat entertainment if any one of you has it. And like my idea, my ultimate goal would be to put one of these units in front and one on the back seats, and then get a Nintendo Mini. So from that I would like take the HDMI, then a splitter, and one HDMI would go to the back seats and one on the front. So you would like have a nice 4-screen split game. Like, not when you're driving, but like it would be cool to have like a 4-screen like Crash Bandicoot running or something. That's PlayStation, but a PlayStation Classic would do. Yeah, it's all the same. And I really I will try to an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone. I have a. I'll find someone with an iPhone and I'll try it, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna work with an iPhone. I'll try to get an iPhone and try it. Like, have a friend of mine with an iPhone and just test it. I'm not worried that the Android Auto or the iPhone thing is not gonna work. Mostly like if there is gonna be any lag between the button press and what happens on the screen. These sort of things are most like maybe they will happen. I'm pretty sure it does what it says. Like, because I've seen members. There is a post from the other member that installed it, and he was using an iPhone as well. Let me find it. Where is Alexander? I have to scroll down, but it was there. Most of you saw it, and that's like, I think Alan put a thing with a video and it worked. So as I said, Tuesday I will have answers for you all. I will make maybe a video and post it on the groups. You can also subscribe to my channel. I can upload it here. It will work with every car that has MMI actually. So A4, A5, A6, A8, Q5 I think. No, Q5 was MIB. Q7 that had MMI. Like, whatever you used MMI will work for sure. There is a list that says what it works and doesn't work with. I can pass you that list. It's on their website actually. Supported install manual, maybe it's here on installation manual. This is installation manual for you guys to check it out. So easy. Yeah, and at least, oh, it says actually which models there are, so let me show you it directly. So let me zoom it in. So depending on the model you have to do the deep switching. For the A8 is just the last one. I will ask for a decoder of what each one of those do. I'm very curious. But you can see like how easy it is. And yeah, like CarPlay, CarLife would be the Android, the AirPlay, AutoLink, whatever. It works with the buttons. Oh, it also supports with the assistants. You can have Siri or Google Assistant. You can press the there it is, the voice button, and see, it says CarPlay, Siri, or CarLife Voice Assistant. The buttons that it mounts, you can see that it steals the main buttons. It would be cool to steal the joystick as well. It says that if you press for 3 seconds the nav button, the nav button, it hijacks the screen, it activates the system. So you can just use the MMI all the time, and when you want, you can just switch to the unit. Here it says that it disassembles the whole thing. I don't know why we don't have to do that. I think it does that because there is no CD on this one. So that's why it does it, I think. Normally you don't have to do that. That's all you have to do. Like unplug this, plug the other thing around, see? And that's it. Pretty easy, pretty nice. Shad has been using it for 5 days, so no lag. So we will see. I will get it and I will test it for you guys. That's about it. There's nothing else to that I can say right now. Any questions? Anything else about the MMI? I think we covered a lot of stuff about it. Do I have anything else to say? No, I don't actually. About the MMI. About the coding, we said you can enable ripping, CD ripping, so you can put a CD in and rip it and store it to its jukebox. I don't know how many of you guys will do that. I don't think anybody, most of you just stream from your phone to Bluetooth. Usually you have Spotify or something on your phone. Now with the Android CarPlay thing that we're gonna buy, I don't think anyone is gonna need to store anything to this hard disk of the MMI. Truth is that all multimedia systems of cars, they're created in a moment, and then their technology is there in the past, and everything around them just moves so fast with technology. So maybe when they built this in 2008, it was cutting edge, just like the D5 MMI, that is great and looks really nice. Back then it was the same thing with those units, and now they just got old. And the cars are great, but the units are old and they never took the time to update them. Which is a shame, because Porsche, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Porsche made retro-looking head units for old Porsche models that run Android Auto and CarPlay, and it's the buttons and everything is the old style, and it's just totally updated on the screen with a touchscreen and everything. So it would be nice for Audi to do that, give us a proper MMI unit. But yeah, the Dieselgate hit them too hard, I think. Any other questions? Something that we left out? Whatever question, throw it now before you go post it on the groups and I have to answer again. Actually, it was quite a nice talk, huh? Let me see. And even now there's one on the Tom post that asked, how do you get into this, into this sale? Amazing. I might answer something here, and then after 2 minutes someone is gonna come and ask the same thing again. Again. I don't see anyone asking anything on the live chat. Are you guys even alive, or am I talking to myself? Because this counter maybe is wrong. It says there's 17 people here, but maybe it's more, maybe it's less. No, you're not messing anything up. It's okay. You can unplug the battery and it's gonna be fine. Would I do it? No. Just turn off the car and unplug the MMI. You can take out the battery. On the D4 it's a bit of a hassle. It's on the trunk. Well, on the D3 it was on the trunk, but it was on the side. On the D4 it's deep on the trunk, and you have to remove the base of the reserve tire. So it's a pain in the ass for the D4. Can I ask about the buttons to operate the electric gate or garage door? You can retrofit the garage thing, the module. It's not an easy retrofit because you also need to do the thing on the grill, the receiver and transmitter. Would you need a garage opener that much? Just use the knob that you have. Yeah, if it skips music or media files, it's because of their hard drive. It either has vibration, or either the hard drive is in a bad mood. It's a standard HDD. If any one of you had the old iPhones that had the HDD in, that's what happens with it. Yeah. That's all, I guess. Thank you everybody who joined in. I think next Sunday we're gonna do something similar again, since now we're all locked with the COVID and like we have time, and it's good to be home, googling stuff, spending money. I call them COVID purchases, and it's bad for the wallet because yeah, you just sit here and Google stuff and search stuff and work on the forums, and you end up wasting money on it with no good reason. But that's okay. That's okay. I hope you guys all stay safe, stay inside. I don't know in which countries you are. Some countries got hit really bad, some others not. Yeah, we'll get through this, and yeah, keep modding. Yeah, COVID purchases, right? Exactly. Yeah, keep working on your cars. Don't be afraid to do stuff with them. The very start is getting an OBD11 or VCDS and start learning how to diagnose your car and how to do some simple codings, stuff like that. It's gonna save you money, VCDS and OBD11 or Carista, whatever. Highly recommendable. You can start doing codings, like for the D4, every time you would open the door, the car would turn off. So that pissed me off. Or the start-stop system, which I don't think anyone likes it in an S8 or an A8. You can make it remember the last position you left it. So many codings. So yeah, whatever you guys need, let me know on the forums. The admins are gonna help you, or me, or anyone, it doesn't matter. I would like to inform you that we're like working with 4 groups right now. I will post them here for you guys to join. They're really nice communities. Some are not A8 related, but I treat them all like it's my own groups, because I was running the S8 group originally. Now we're good friends with admins of the other groups, so it's always nice that we're a bonded community. The other admins are really great, really helpful. We all share the same mentality, and we're trying the best for our community. That's why when Alan, who is admin on the A8 group, I think, he's the one responsible for the sales. He's the one that we did the group buy whole thing, so all credits go to him, because he was the one that engaged the whole thing, and then I just said I will do this XLS and get everything in order. So it's nice to have people with the same mentality, that's all. Yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you for being here tonight. I'll probably see you next Sunday. We'll find something else to discuss. Many things to say. You can subscribe to the channel and you'll get notifications about the lives. But I think by now, Sunday at this time, you know that I'm gonna be here until, I don't know, we're able to get out again. Yeah, it was nice. I'll see you guys. Have a good night. And whoever is gonna watch it on replay, if this didn't cover anything, you can just ask on the forums. Have a good night, everyone, and thank you for watching. Later, everybody.